The attempt to defund Planned Parenthood yesterday failed in the Senate as Democrats used the filibuster to stop it. The vote was, of course, 53 to 46. Now, in response to that, conservatives in both the House and Senate demanded that their leaders actually attach a provision to any spending bill to block federal funding of Planned Parenthood, meaning this fight ain't over yet. Now, Senator Ted Cruz told reporters that the GOP should use, quote, any and every procedural tool available to defund Planned Parenthood. And he said that the Democrats should be the ones asked if they supported, quote, continued taxpayer funding for an organization that has been caught on film, apparently repeatedly admitting multiple felonies to buying and selling body parts. Dude. No, they didn't, Ted. You fucking prick. There are 2 investigations that went on in states. 2 state-level investigations so far have shown absolutely no wrongdoing by Planned Parenthood. None. One of these investigations was in Indiana by Governor Mike Pence. You know, the staunchly pro-life Governor Mike Pence of Indiana. The Indiana Department of Health ruled in this investigation that they were in full compliance, Planned Parenthood was, with all state regulations. In Massachusetts, they also had an investigation. And that found dick. It found nothing. No wrongdoing, nothing. You know why? Because what they did was legal. What they did was legal. And that leads me to, of course, their supposed evidence. The deceptively edited videos. Now, these videos were obviously edited to make it seem as if the people at Planned Parenthood were trying to sell fetal tissue, which is illegal. But once again, it edited out all the parts where it said, this is where we, we're doing this. We need money in order to transport this tissue. But no, they don't even go to that. There's absolutely no truth in these videos. None. They're made in a way to make it Planned Parenthood look like that's what they're doing. They're doing something illegal, which they're not. That money discussed in these videos goes to, as I said, to specialized transport and storage of donated fetal tissue. This whole sting is nothing more than a political move meant to rile up social conservatives for the 2016 election. So, of course, it's political. It's not just political, but it's also a war on health. Planned Parenthood does things like cancer screenings, STD testing, and of course gives contraception coverage to low-income women. You know how much they do abortion? 3%. 3% of the time they do abortions. And some Planned Parenthoods, their clinics don't even take part in the fetal donations. They don't. 2 of them in Louisiana don't. But of course, I guess these Republicans, these conservatives, would rather waste that tissue from legal abortion. They'd rather just throw it away instead of letting them come up with cures with it. Which, by the way, we've come up with some great medical advances using donated tissue. But they'd want to stop that, of course. Their whole plan is to stop that. But here's some GOP hypocrisy on this one. This was reported in Think Progress. Just a few years ago, the practice of donating fetal tissue for research purposes enjoyed broad bipartisan support, including from some of the Republicans who are currently calling to crack down on Planned Parenthood. For example, Ronald Reagan was in support of this. In 1988, during the Reagan administration, a panel of experts from the National Institutes of Health overwhelmingly voted in favor of allowing scientists to study biological material obtained from legal abortions. Do you know how that panel ruled? Unanimously, 19-0. Saying that, yes, we should use aborted fetal tissue in science in order to come up with cures for things like cancer or Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. 1993, members of Congress on both sides of the aisle, it's bipartisan, voted to legalize fetal tissue research, even in cases where the samples were obtained from legal abortions. When they approved the National Institute of Health and Health Revitalization Act, Senator Mitch McConnell, voted in favor, along with several other staunchly pro-life conservative candidates, like John McCain, Orrin Hatch, Fred Upton, Lamar Smith. Those guys voted in favor of this. So their vote showed that they were in favor of donated tissue going to research. Now suddenly they're like, no, defund Planned Parenthood over this. Well, of course, it's because of these heavily edited videos, right? And then, of course, an upcoming election season. It's because of this, Republicans are trying to once again defund an organization that goes to helping low-income women. And they're not even ruling out the idea that they're going to shut down the government over this. What a bunch of sad, pathetic, dangerous people. They want to sit there and put politics over the health of low-income women. And, while doing that, by the way, they have the audacity to call themselves pro-life? No. You're not pro-life. There's nothing pro-life about your position. You're not pro-life. You want to defund these cancer screenings and these STD tests for low-income women? And then call yourself pro-life? No, you're not pro-life. Fuck off. Fuck off with that bullshit.